What's up, Block fam? Riding with me, we've got Pedro and his what are those? The laser faces? The glasses?
Yeah. Heat wave visuals. I don't know. I think it's a laser phase. I'm not.
Save 10% off on heat wave visual using coupon code Do It With Dan.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Also in the front right, we've got Captain Anna.
Yay!
And front left here, we've got Westifer.
Hey,
Face Nectar. So we're on the way to MMI to get the Season 5 giveaway bikes dynoed so we can get some power numbers out of them. We are currently all connected up on comms through the Senna Mesh 2.0. Everybody's basically like picked out a bike to start with. Pedro is on the Yamaha Bolt. Wes is on the Indian Scout. Anna is on the Harley-Davidson Iron. So on the ride there, we're going to be getting their thoughts and feedback, which they've already had some, and it has been quite comical.
Indian's off to a great start.
Yeah. Wouldn't
Start is the word.
Yeah. Or not a great start. Because it wouldn't start at first for some reason. But then it just decided to, so that's cool. So on the way to MMI to get these bikes dynoed, we are basically, just going to be giving thoughts and feedback. And then whenever we hit just random red lights kind of on the way there, we're going to do the whole fire drill thing where everybody kind of swaps bikes. So everybody kind of gets to feel each one and form an opinion on it. So, who wants to start?
Well, the engine's pretty fun so far.
Yeah, so how do you feel on it being 6'4"?
I don't know. Some parts of it feel big, and then other parts feel small. Like it's super low, which is way different than a Ninja. Also, no fairings, so I can feel a lot more of the wind. It feels kind of like the inputs are actually really kind of sensitive. It's actually a lot easier to like tip and lean than I thought it was going to be.
Pedro.
It's just when you're parking it that it feels like it has no turning radius.
Yeah. The Yamaha Bolt's behind that, being ridden by Pedro. Pedro, thoughts on the Bolt?
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Working on Harleys and Indians every day, it feels good to ride this Yamaha because it's so different.
Yeah.
I love that it comes with the mid controls. The handlebars is awesome. They really stepped it up when they came out with this model. And like, yeah, it's an awesome gauge too. It's very simple, but it tells you everything you need to know, and it's digital, which I love it. The handling is amazing. Suspension is pretty good for a stock factory suspension, you know? Seating position is, I love it.
So how tall are you?
6'1".
6'1", yeah. So I rode that one, dude. It just felt really solid.
Yeah.
I was a fan.
It's put together to be ridden hard.
Yeah.
It's definitely a good commuter, and with the right accessories, you can take on some really good trips with it. No vibration too, typical of a Yamaha.
And then we got Captain Anna in the front on the Sporty, which normally she rides a Sporty.
Yeah. So my feedback on the 883 is, so like this one does have drag bars, which I'm not used to. I kind of mentioned earlier, I feel like I'm riding in like a crouch position, like I'm about to play leapfrog. I have like window bars, which are like smaller T-bars pretty much, you know, so I'm like leaning forward a little bit more. But obviously I love the Iron 83, so not really much I can say there.
So yeah, you're pretty acclimated to it in terms of power and, you know, with the mids. And how tall are you? 5'4"?
5'6".
5'6". So I'm thinking next red light we hit, you guys want to swap?
Yeah.
Does that switch relay or whatever starter problem you're talking about, how common is it on these?
It happened to the early models, and if I can remember, there was an open recall. We can just call the dealership and they'll check the VIN and see if it was fixed or not. If it wasn't fixed, we'll probably have to like warranty it.
So for those of you that don't know, Pedro is a
factory trained technician.
Ready for that bike swap?
Bike swap.
Bike swap.
I don't know where the kickstand is. There it is.
I'll take the Indian.
Where are we?
Okay.
I'll go to Sports, I guess? There we go.
Here we go.
Oh, it's so funny.
Ooh, this seat is nice.
Good job, guys.
It is, isn't it?
Ooh. Look at the suspension.
It's mids.
Let's see it again.
I already feel the radiator fan kicking in.
Yep. Liquid cooled.
Yeah.
I can totally feel it on this one too.
That's the advantage of the engine right now.
All right, so Pedro is now on the Indian Scout. Wes is now on the Iron, and Anna is now on the Yamaha Bolt. Just went from Iron to Bolt, and your first comment was, what, the seat and suspension?
Yeah, wow, this seat is like so comfortable, like hugs my booty, it's right. And yeah, like the suspension, like as soon as I sat on it, like it's just, I don't know, soft, I don't know.
Riding a cloud, you can say it.
Yeah.
Softer suspension.
Obviously it is a different feel, like going from an 883 that I think that's got a stage 1 on it, this one, so just getting that like different throttle control, or finding the friction zone rather.
Yeah, it's going to be different on each bike.
Yeah, I don't like that I can't hear it at all.
Yeah, so once you have an exhaust and you're able to hear the bike, you actually like kind of develop the ability to hear it, to shift and everything, like to feel it more.
So that's one of the things I'm like, I had trouble with right off the get-go, was just feeling when to shift.
I am way too big for this bike. I have my feet back and my shin is like resting against the air cleaner. The bars are like way too low.
Oh yeah.
Bro, you look so cramped on that thing.
I feel kind of ridiculous.
You look kind of ridiculous.
Also, this seat is not nearly as soft as the one that's on that Indian. It's very hard and small.
Yeah, so it's not the stock seat. I think that's like a Burley seat. Yeah, you look too big for that. So
yeah,
for those of you out there that are looking to do a Sportster, if you're 6'4", that's what you're gonna look like on it. You're like, I feel ridiculous. I'm like, you look ridiculous.
If you're 6'4", you probably don't want a Sportster.
Yeah. How do you feel in terms of suspension, power?
Pretty stiff to steer.
Not as easy as the Indian for you?
Yeah, Indian was smoother.
Pedro, how do you feel going from the Yamaha Bolt to the Indian Scout?
I'm a suspicious guy right now. Like what I can say about the Indian Scout is like, it seems like they build an amazing motor and then they lacked on the comfort. Like the motor, the brakes, the suspension is good, but then the riding position, it's not very comfortable. The forward controls, the way you sit, like I'm hunched forward too much, so it hurts my lower back after a long ride.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty tall, I'm 6'1". So the positive is this bike was built like really good performance-wise, but they failed on the comfort a little bit. You would have to put different L bars and different seats to make it like a really nice bike to ride more than half an hour.
Yeah, we're gonna bob it out, so.
Please.
For me, this is like, I feel comfortable.
Yeah.
On it. Yeah.
Nice. If you're 5'6", you'll feel comfortable on a Bolt.
Yeah, like it's like I can, very much flat-footed, not a very big bike at all.
Can't wait to ride that Sportster.
Yeah.
Seeing Wes ride it is like seeing a monkey on a bicycle, like on those little mini bikes.
Yeah, bear on the tricycle at the circus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got such long limbs, and look at how far out his legs are sticking.
It's like a spider.
They stick out so far.
Yeah. So what are you guys thinking in terms of like the feeling of power? Raw ultimate power.
This bike has no power.
No power?
That is how I feel.
It's because it's quiet. It has power. No, it's definitely lacks on power, the Yamaha, a little bit.
It doesn't have a lot of torque.
Get up and go.
Yeah. Don't crucify me. I'm not a professional.
No.
Throwing these terms around.
You don't have to be a professional to have an opinion.
But yeah, it doesn't have a lot of give and go.
I'm a professional opinion giver.
There you go. Yelp.
Hey, so Pedro, how'd that bump feel that we just hit on the suspension for that thing?
It's not that bad.
What?
It's definitely gonna feel really bad on that Sports for sure.
Dude, I thought the suspension on the Scout was pretty rough.
It is, but again, there's worse.
Yeah,
it's
a hardtail.
Yes. It does have some suspension. It's not the best. It's what helps. It's like, because it's such a long bike, when it hits the pothole, it kind of balances itself a little bit. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's my feeling towards it.
The front tire hits it way sooner than the back tire.
it probably won't jump off the ground. It's like a bagger, you know. It's so the distance between axles is so long that makes it a comfortable ride.
Yeah.
Like the old American-made cars, you know.
You guys see the sign at the Fairvilla store? It said, "We carry positive vibes."
Have you been there?
No, not that one.
I've been there. It's fun.
I like how you say not that one, which means you've been to one.
Well, yeah.
Everybody's been to one.
Well,
Come on.
yeah.
It's fun.
I got kicked out of one.
Wow, what were you doing? Yeah, don't make me switch to Sportster while I go by iMotorsports. They'll laugh.
All right, guys, at the next red light we hit, switch bikes again.
Another thing I don't like about these is how the pegs aren't spring-loaded. So every time I put my foot down, my pants are catching on it and they're pulling up. And I'm like, where'd it go?
Long leg problems.
They just stay up, yeah. The bike likes you, bro.
I don't want it to be that up for me. All right, red light.
Bike swap.
Oh, okay. Careful with the pipe, whoever gets on this one. Oh no. Why?
Oh, this seat's so much squishier.
Right?
Oh yeah, it's warm on my right side over here.
This clutch needs an adjustment.
Let the criticisms begin.
I sort of already don't like this. This tank is like so fat with a pH.
Oh,
Oh
great.
my god!
You're like, where's the shifter? Where's the shifter?
I know! I hope you caught that on camera.
Oh, I did.
Like, oh my god, where's my foot go? Wow, this is very easy to throw around. I like it. Very nimble.
Wes is now on the Yamaha Bolt, Anna is on the Indian Scout, and Pedro is on the Harley Iron. Wes, as soon as you got on that thing, you said something about squishy.
Yeah, the seat's way squishier on this one than on the Iron. Pretty similar, but I think just like this much less than the Indian. I don't know. I feel like the Indian was the most comfortable so far, for me at least.
Especially for your height, and it has forward.
The other thing on the Indian, since that tank is so low, my knee was actually above the edge of the tank.
Oh, wow.
So like I wasn't getting that firm grab on it.
So we know you were like super uncomfortable on the Sportster. So this would, what, be like more the middle ground for you in terms of comfort?
Yeah. Except for this dang air cleaner on the right. This thing, I don't know what Yamaha was thinking when they made this, like, have this thing protrude out like 6 inches.
Yeah, I don't like that air cleaner either.
I mean, at least it's not like a hot part, so you can actually rest your leg on it. It's not too bad, but
Yeah.
it's just for like the symmetry, like.
Yeah, it's like in the way of the foot control. Doesn't make sense to like.
Yeah. I think they made the air filter and the exhaust pretty boxy and ugly, so you can just upgrade it.
Yeah, probably.
It's just like, please customize my bike.
Yeah. Anna, so what are your first initial thoughts on the Indian Scout?
Well, so like I said, when I sat down on it, it wasn't my favorite, but then when we took off and I found where to put my feet, yeah, like it's very nimble, like surprisingly. I've never ridden an Indian before, so I didn't really know what to expect, but yeah, like it's very, I can just, and so it's like, that's pretty nice, The forward controls, they're pretty comfortable. It's not that big of a deal to me because I don't have like very long noodle legs.
Despite it having forwards, you still feel comfortable with it?
Yeah, I feel comfortable, definitely. Like for Wes, how it's more comfortable for him because they are forwards and he's got long noodle legs.
Just say long.
Not huge of a difference to
Did
me.
you say long noodle legs?
Yeah.
Oh, noodle legs.
Right off the bat, just looks-wise, I'm not really a fan of all the chrome, but I know that can get changed, so it's not really that big of a detractor, I guess.
Not a deal breaker.
Power-wise, it's pretty good. I would say better than the Volt. Like, it's got a little bit more get up and go.
Oh, yeah.
We did hit a pretty good bump there. You were going to comment on suspension, Wes.
Yeah, it's I think this one actually is a little bit pretty close to the Sportster. The Sportster, I could feel all those bumps back there. This one, I feel just slightly less, but that one was pretty big, so it's hard to really compare because I don't think I hit anyone that big on that bike. Yeah. But just suspension-wise, I feel like the Indian's the smoothest for me.
All right, Pedro, thoughts on the Iron, the Harley-Davidson Iron?
Oh, man. What can I say? It's the iconic Sportster, I can't say much about it besides the fact that this is like for me, this is like the best Harley ever made, and people are going to hate me on that because it lasts forever. It takes a beating and keeps going. It lacks power. Obviously, it's 8883, but if you bump it up, to 1200, 1250, 1275, like I've done it, it's a pretty good bike, and you can do whatever you want with these. The Sportster is very versatile.
Yeah, there's an absolute ton of aftermarket parts for them, that's for sure.
Yep, it's the best. If entry level Harley, this is the one to go. Not the 750, not the 500, but it's obviously the Sportster, and it's the only one that stays faithful to what a Harley V-twin is. It always sounds amazing. A Sportster, even when it came out with the fuel injection, it still sounds good. It's just an amazing bike. About specific setup, again, this is very cramped for a taller person. Anybody over like 6 foot with mid controls and drag bars like this is going to have a bad time.
The cool thing about it is like they do make forwards for it, so if you are taller you can throw some forwards, and then you can throw taller bars on it if you want to do like...
Oh yeah, these bikes, and they're easy to work on too. Like that's the best about it. Like, and if you mess up something, you can get the parts right away, and it's not expensive.
Yep.
So it's a really good starting bike if you want to get into Harleys.
The forwards on that definitely make a difference, because that's what Laurel has on her. She's got those Z-bars and then the forwards, and I was 10 times more comfortable on hers than I was on that one with drags and the mids.
Yeah, you've had experience riding a Sporty with forwards, an Iron even. She's got the, Harley Z-bars.
The chiseled
bars, yeah.
It looks good, man.
This exhaust is a little close to my leg. I don't like it.
Yep. It will burn you.
Oh, when you're at a stop?
Yeah. I just put my leg down and scared me.
You could feel the heat.
When you put on the kickstand, be careful.
Okay.
Because it will burn you if you're not paying attention.
So we're about 11 minutes away from MMI. So you guys have now been on all the bikes. We haven't obviously got into twisties or anything like that. We'll have to do a follow-up on Binion Road or something, just on your initial first thoughts and impressions in summary, as well as offering a criticism or two. What would you guys say? Let's start with Wes on the Yamaha Bolt.
I mean, so far my favorite is probably the Indian. It just seems way more handling wise, Indian won for me. This one's second. The Iron was third. Suspension, Indian was first. This one's second. Iron third. Power, we haven't really gotten a chance. I did crank the Iron back there when we came out of one of those lights, and it just kind of doesn't really go anywhere. Comfort, Indian won that for me, just the feel of it and everything. This one's second, Iron third. So you kind of have my rating right now of overall, and also in every class. Indian 1, Bolt 2nd, Iron 3rd.
Awesome, man. Yeah, so that's funny because I was totally going to ask what you guys would rate your top picks in 1, 2, 3 order. So Anna, what are your thoughts on all the bikes and your ratings in top 3?
Okay, so I was definitely really pleasantly surprised by the Indian. Like I said, I've never ridden one before. Didn't know really what to expect. Didn't really have any high expectations, but very pleasantly surprised with how well it handles, how nimble it is between the three of them. And I am biased, obviously, because I had an 883, and I love that, everything about that bike. Not with the drag bars, though. The 883 was number 1 to me, but the Indian, definitely a second. Seat-wise, I thought the Bolt was very comfortable, stock seat, and I've already had a stock seat on my Iron and it sucks. The comfort level of the Indian seat is alright, nothing to write home about in my opinion. Suspension, although I do love the Iron, I would say the Bolt takes it, because that was very comfortable to sit on and hit some of those bumps we hit on our way here. If I had to rank them, Iron number 1, Indian number 2, Bolt number 3.
Pedro, thoughts, criticism, and ranking.
All right, let's start with the criticism. That's what I'm good at. So I'd say for looks and appearance and the sounds, definitely the Sporty takes the prize. For performance, reliability, Indian takes the prize, because I know those bikes really good. I know them as good as I know the Harleys. Mechanically and performance, I love the Indians. If you think about comforts, and easy maintenance and all that, you don't spend a lot of money doing maintenance on your Yamaha, so the Bolt would be the logical choice for somebody that doesn't have a lot of money to spend but wants to enjoy and it's so comfortable. So it takes the comfortable too, man. It's really good. I'd say first place goes to the Indian. Second place, I'd put the Bolt, and sadly, I put in the third place the Little Sporty. And that's my point of view as as a mechanic and a rider. That's what I put. Sadly, I will put the Sports in the third row because it's just a cool bike that you can do so many things with it. But when it comes to work on it, you spend a lot of money. You end up spending a lot of money to maintain a Harley.
Yeah.
While the Indian and the Yamaha is way easy on the pocket, way easier.
All right, so Pedro's top three order. You say the Indian, the Bolt, then the Harley.
Yep.
Anna, you said the Harley, the Indian, and then the Bolt.
Yep.
And Wes, you said Indian, Bolt, and then the Harley. All right, we're gonna get to MMI, and it's gonna be a separate episode of us getting like the power numbers. Thank you guys for riding motorcycles with me today. I appreciate
Thanks
it.
for the invite.
Thank you.
Oh, for sure. For all you patrons out there, if you guys are part of Patreon, you're already entered to possibly win one of these motorcycles whenever we're done with it for the end of season 5, but we are giving all 3 of these away. This is basically just a start. We're gonna get the baseline power numbers, and then we're gonna mod them out, build them up, customize them, and then give them away. So if you guys want to be a part of that, join Patreon at patreon.com/blockheadmoto. Anything else you guys want to throw in?
It's a hot one today.
Yeah. Feels good to get out of the garage, man.
Oh yeah. Pretty warm in these rhinos. What the hell?
Okay.
What is happening?
Okay, you're white.
All right.
I love Orlando traffic.
All right, well, you guys be sure to go give all of them a follow. I will drop their Instagram stuff down in the description below. We got Base Nectar, Wanderer Portugal,
That's me.
and Captain Anna. Skirt. Thanks for tuning in. If you guys have any questions, if you guys got any thoughts, feedback, any of that good stuff, be sure to drop it.
Sorry.
Told you.
Sorry.
Exhaust.
A little toasty over there?
A little bit.
So now you know if you're 5'6" and you come to a stop and flat-foot a Indian Scout, that's what's gonna happen. Like I was saying, if you guys have any questions, comments, any of that stuff, drop them down in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like button. If you're not subscribed already, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon so it sends you notifications of future uploads and activity. Until next time, ride safe, stay vigilant, try and stay cool. It's hot. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Rip it, Pedro.
Rip it, Pedro.
Rip it, Anna.